in one sentence, tell me what this campaign is about.
Well, I believe it is putting abortion on demand anytime, anywhere, any place into our Missouri State Constitution without having a doctor doing the procedure, having taxpayer funding, losing parental consent, and a myriad of other things that we have not even thought about, including transgender surgeries.
So you are saying that the state's ability to regulate any aspect of abortion at any time completely disappears under Amendment 3?
I do believe that, and attorneys also believe that too.
Now, we have just come out of a 2-year court battle over this, so I think the public has been fed a diet that they don't ordinarily get with a ballot issue for an extended period of time. The phrase at the essence of that court battle was a statement in the text of the amendment that says, including but not limited to. Now, if I understood the court fight, that was suggesting multiple subjects, which would be illegal under the rules for a ballot amendment. Is that the issue politically before the people? That there are multiple subjects involved here?
Well, there are multiple subjects involved. When you read about what the amendment actually says, when you go through all of the sections down to 8, there are so many different things that they have to be explored, and they were not totally explored or explained to the person who was signing the amendment, the right to put it on the ballot. When we had the decline to sign, people did not know what they were signing. And I actually had instances where I was speaking to people about it, and the person was just about ready to sign it. And I said, did you know this, that you would lose your parental consent? And she said, what do you mean? And the guy goes, she's lying, just finish signing it. And she finished signing it, and then I explained to her, and she said, sir, I want to take my name off, and he ran away. So people did not know what they were signing. Many people did not know what they were signing. And if they did, they would not have signed it.
You argued that before a judge in a case that went to the Supreme Court, and you did not win. Why could you not convince judges that that's what had gone on?
That is a very interesting question, and it makes me think, like, they had said something that it should have been taken care of in the very beginning. Well, Roe v. Wade was obviously not decided correctly 50 years ago. That was corrected. So why should we have not corrected it when it was only, I don't know how many months? Why didn't we correct it then? Because this will be litigated. There's going to be a lot of litigation that happens. There's going to be a lot of heartache. And because of the fact that there will be no oversight of these healthcare professionals, not doctors, healthcare professionals, many women will die. Women will not be getting their ultrasounds to show if it's an ectopic pregnancy or not, which is a main reason why women do die from taking the RU46 pill. Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, they will start selling the RU46 pill over the counter. And young girls will be going in there just wanting to perhaps not let their parents know that they were pregnant for whatever reason. Take this, they could have an ectopic pregnancy, and their mothers will find them dead. This will happen. We need oversight of these abortion methods.
And you're saying that won't be available to you,
no,
that oversight?
They will. Why would they do it? They don't have to. There will be no regulations that they have to. I mean, we saw the ambulances rolling into the Planned Parenthood at the rate of about every 42 days, sometimes twice a month. Women were carted away by ambulance. That'll be A-OK now because you can't regulate that. It will be a bloodbath.
If you think then that things besides just lifting the restriction on abortion will happen as a result of Amendment 3,
yes.
What are those things that will happen besides lifting the restriction on abortion?
Well, one of the things that it says here is that that you can't infringe upon a person's fundamental right. Who's a person? A man, a woman, and a child. So right there we have lost parental consent. So say that someone is abusing a child under the age of 18, and that person continues to abuse them and to cover up the fact of getting that child pregnant, they can take them anywhere to have this abortion procedure done and continue to hide that abuse.
Now, the other side's going to tell me, no, that won't be the case, and you have suggested you're going to go to court every time out to find out whether that is the case. Is that the strategy going forward? Assume that this is going to pass, and you will tie it up in court forever?
I'm not assuming that this is going to pass. I have faith that the people of Missouri, when they know what this really means, that they will solidly vote no.
Now,
But yes, this will happen. Children will be taken. Children will continue to be abused by sexual perverts, and also this opens up the gates for sex trafficking. And not only open up the gates for that, but we're talking about taxpayer funding. This will happen. And let me tell you, as a person who knows people who pray outside of abortion facilities in Illinois, when they tell us, when they talk to the women who come out, and they say, you know, we can help you. We will give you back the money that you had to pay for this abortion, but let us get you to a pregnancy center. And they will say, well, we didn't have to pay for it. Why? Well, because when we went in there, we told them that we were from Texas, and they said, did you know that the state of Illinois will pay for your abortion if you are considering on moving here? Are you considering on moving here? Because if you are, the state of Illinois will pay for this abortion.
is it fair, though, to suggest because Illinois is doing something, we will do it here?
Very fair, very fair. Absolutely. That will happen here because the people who are going to make the money will be able to say that. And if we lose that, that taxpayer funding does not happen, cannot happen for abortion, how can that stand up? We give money to the alternatives to abortion funding. If we give that to the pregnancy health care centers, why can't we give money to pay for abortions? That's discriminating.
A moment ago, you mentioned transgender. Is it your contention that Amendment 3 will greenlight gender reassignment for underage patients?
I do believe that because when you talk about the reproductive freedom equals reproductive organs. So anything that has to do with the reproductive organs, which would involve transgender surgery, or it would even involve things like a vasectomy, circumcision, a normal childbirth, a hysterectomy. Those also have to do with the organs. So I can see a very big loophole that if a person is injured because of a circumcision, a vasectomy, normal childbirth, or an abortion, that those people would be, those healthcare professionals, not a doctor, the healthcare professionals who are performing these surgeries would be exempt. Now, the doctors would also fall into that because they are working with the reproductive organs. So I can see loopholes here all over the place.
That is a significant assertion that reproductive freedom equals reproductive organs.
What else could it mean?
Is there a court ruling out there somewhere that backs that position up?
I think we only have to be logical. What does reproductive freedom, what is reproductive? How do you reproduce? Your organs, right? Right? I think an attorney would make a very good case for that. I'm not an attorney, but I can see that reproductive means reproductive organs.
You said it's not a given that this thing's going to pass, and you're not necessarily planning for life after the passage of Amendment 3, but you read the same polls that I do. An August poll by St. Louis University and YouGov, 52% of respondents favored the measure, 34% opposed it, 14% remained undecided. If that's in any way accurate and you get the entire 14% to come over to your side, you're still short. Is this thing, and you know about Kansas and Ohio, red states that have approved abortion rights. Is it short-sighted not to plan for this passing in Missouri, regardless of the political makeup here?
Well, there was another study that was just done that showed that, and I apologize, I don't have all of the figures, but the one that stuck out to me was when people were informed about what it meant, that number of people who would vote yes went down to 42%. 42% when they were informed. So that's why it's so important that people are informed about what happens, and that's why I'm so glad that you are doing these broadcasts about what actually is happening, and I thank you for that.
Did 2 years of court and a steady diet of this information being fed to the voting public help you or hurt you? I know you didn't get the result you wanted, but did just having it out there in that way help you or hurt you?
I think it helps because it keeps it in the forefront of everyone's mind, and in particular the Supreme Court decision. That just reopened the whole thing all over again, and it was just, so many people were like, well, you won, you know, in the first court, and how could that have happened? And we were like, that's what we're wondering too. That's what we're wondering too, because Judge Limbaugh had some very, very good points, and Judge Brosniak in her rebuttal, spot on. I mean, words she used were absurd that this was not, the original decision was not affirmed.
Kathy Forck, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kermit. It's been my pleasure.